Try that with me. Yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yai dai 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 yada dai 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 ai 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 yai da dai da dai 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 yada dai 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 yai Yada dai 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 yai dai 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 yada dai 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 dai.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
And
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, friends out there. We are so happy to be with you to celebrate Shabbat and to celebrate a wonderful occasion in the extended Herman family, the Herman family, the Goldberg family. We are just pleased to be with all of you and the guests and members of our congregation who are here to celebrate Mincha, the afternoon Shabbat service with us, and as I said, celebrate this wonderful occasion as Asher becomes Bar Mitzvah. Many of you are with us on the live stream. Some of you are with us on Zoom. Let me say a few words to help you participate, join us in our worship service this afternoon. For those of you who are watching on the live stream, just above this picture is an icon of our prayer book. The prayer book itself looks like this, Mishkan Tefillah. If you click on it, you can follow along. You can just type in the page number we announce and you'll be at the right spot. For those of you on Zoom, you too can follow along. I believe there's a link in the chat to the prayer book for this afternoon. And as you would imagine, Asher will be leading us in worship. He will be reading from the Torah, as is part of the afternoon Shabbat service, and he also will be sharing his own reflections with all of us on this day. So sending strength over to you, Asher. I know this is going to be a wonderful service that we share in together. But before we turn to you to help us lead our worship, it's our custom here at Road of Shalom to pause at this moment in the service, to turn to the parents of our Bar Mitzvah, to give them a private moment with their son, to mark this special day with their own words, with words of blessing and love. So at this time, I'd like to invite David and Kelly to stand and take a little huddle with Asher as their family marks this moment. And here in the sanctuary, we offer a reflective song.
Lechi lach to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha to a place you do not know. Lechi lach on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach.
Thank you so much to the Herman family. Glad you had this moment together to get Asher ready. And now we continue with the afternoon service. I invite everyone to please turn to page 226, and we turn to you, Asher, to be our service leader here on this page. Asher, take it away.
We continue with the tefillah on page 226. We continue with the tefillah on page 226. Please join me as we chant the prayers on the next two pages together. Adonai sefartadita ufia gitefilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Chanura El Elyon Gomer Hasadim Tovim Ve'konei Hakol Ve'zoher Hased Avot Ve'imahot ומביא גאולה אם וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו ואחווה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. Our fathers and mothers prayed, each of their own experience of God, each of their own visions of which we have come to share. Abraham with the
fervor of justice,
Pleaded
pleaded
the
the cause of cities, Sarah,
in the pain of
dared
to
hope for a new life.
Isaac, meditating alone in the field, lifted his eyes to find love. Rebekah asked for the ability to discern God's call.
Jacob climbed the rungs
of his night
his
into
night
heaven,
seeking destiny. Leah dreamed of love,
Rachel
and Rachel sought harmony.
We, as we seek God's presence. We continue in responsive prayer on page 229. We continue together on page 230 with the giver wrote, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mahayach HaKol Atah Rav Behoshia Morid Hatal Mehakel Hayim Behesed Mehayeh HaKol Barahamim Rabim Someh Noflim Berofeh Cholim Umatir Asorim Unkayem Emunato Lishanei Afar Micha Moha Ba'al Geburot Omi Domeh Lach Mele Memit Hayet Umatzmiach Yeshua Ve'eman Atah Lechahayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mahayach HaKol. We continue responsibly on the next page. Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good and not evil.
You are the
You're the source of life and blessing.
Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the fallen. Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom. Help us to free the captive.
You are our hope in death as in life. Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good.
Blessing and not for curse, for life, not death, for abundance, not want. We continue with the Kiddush on page 232.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהייך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
232. To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. And if you've been standing at home, won't you please be seated and join me on page 234. Page 234, a special prayer for this wonderful day, a Bar Mitzvah day, a Shabbat day. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, ritzei v'imnuchatenu. Kadshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'ten helkenu b'toratecha, tzabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libenu la'ovdecha be'emet. V'chanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava u'v'ratzon, Shabbat kodshecha, v'yanuchu va Yisrael mekadshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. And on page 235, just across on the opposite page, this prayer, if you want to join me at home or read responsively, just participate with me. I love to feel your energy coming through the live stream or coming through the Zoom. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and hands, we give praise. For the peace in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For the gift of Shabbat, which renews us for life, we offer blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. And if you will join me on page 238, Modim anachnu lach she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu le'olam va'ed, Tzur chayenu magen yishenu atahu lador vador. On the opposite page, 239, for the gift of our souls, for the promise of our lives, for all that we are and all we might yet become, for the creative seeds sown within our minds whose nurturing can yield a grand harvest. For all these gifts we thank you, O God, and pray that we prove ourselves worthy. Won't you join me from home? May our lives be ripe with the fruit of compassion, sweetly sustaining those in need. May we use our gifts wisely and with love, true messengers of blessing to the world. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha ne'eh lehodot. And on page 240, the next page, we come to end this section with a song of peace, Shalom Rav. Please join us.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are our sovereign God of all peace. May it be a blessing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom. And after that beautiful song of peace, I invite you at home to take a peaceful moment for your own private, your own personal prayers. Won't you take some time on your own?
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן, ואמרו amen.
We turn now to what is really the highlight of our service today for you, Asher, and that is Seder HaKriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah. You have, in so many ways, been preparing for this moment really for years, although the last year most intensely, and I know you are really ready to step up and read from the parasha assigned on this mincha service. And we're so glad you have your parents and your siblings with you at home. We have your grandparents who are on the live stream. And it's a pleasure to extend greetings and congratulations first to the grandparents, how special it is. We welcome, I see the Hermans there on the screen. If you guys want to give a wave and let us know or blow a kiss and all that good stuff, that's for you, Asher. And a hug, that was wonderful. And now we turn to the Goldberg grandparents. So good to have you with us. And if you want to wave to Asher, he knows you're there listening and being part of this. And thank you for being here. And you'll have your aliyah in just a few moments. And so, as we get ready now to read from the Torah, we turn to Asher, you and your parents, as you participate in a tradition, a ritual of our congregation of passing the Torah from one generation to the next, the Torah going from your parents' arms to yours, Asher. So we turn to the family now at home so we can witness this tradition.
Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kemasecha. Malechutecha, malechut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor.
History and hope, learning and laughter. We pray that the story of the Jewish people continues brightly with you as you grow as a person and as a Jew. May you embrace the Torah your whole life.
Asher, won't you hang on to that Torah? Won't you hold it on your shoulder there? Straight up. There you are. Perfect. And as you're holding it, we're going to invite you to join us in singing the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai iti, unerom shemo yachdav.
Thank you. Thank you, Kelly and David. And as you place the Torah back down and get ready to read the portion, we prepare also for the aliyot. So I turn it now to the cantor who will help us move from aliyot to Torah reading and onward.
Asher, if you would go ahead and read us your Torah introduction.
The Torah portion for this Shabbat that I will be reading is called Emor. It comes from the book of Leviticus, and my Hebrew reading begins with chapter 23, verse 22. In this portion, the people are also told to leave the corners of their field for the poor to pick at harvest times.
Great. And for the honor of the first Aliyah, we'd like to call forth Asher's grandparents on Zoom, Esther and Jean Herman. You can begin the blessings whenever you're ready. You're muted. Oh, I heard something. Esther and Jean, we can't hear you.
Can you hear now?
Oh, there you are. And if you could say it sitting down so we could see your faces, that would be lovely.
All right. Can you hear?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Baruch Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Asher, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Ekutzachem, eketzi arzachem, lo techale peat zanha, ekutzaha, veleket ketziha, lo telaket lani, velager tasu, otam ani Adonai Elohechem, vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael lemor, bachodesh hashvi'i, echad lachodesh, yichye lachem, Shabbaton, zichron, teruah, Mikra Kodesh, Kol Melechet, Avodah Lo Tasu, Vehikravtem Ishe La Adonai.
Esther and Jean, you can go ahead and say the second blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam nota b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. And for the honor of the second aliyah, we'd like to call Asher's other grandparents, Rick and Dorothy Goldberg. Go ahead and unmute and start whenever you're ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamavarach, Baruch Adonai Hamavarach le'olam vo'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim, amim v'natan lanu Torah,
Et Torato.
Torah tu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Go ahead,
Put my
Asher.
וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, אך בעשור לחודש השביעי, הזה יום הכיפורים הוא מקרא קודש, יהיה לכם, ועיניתם את נפשותיכם, והקרבתם אישה לאדוני. וכל מלאכה לא תעשו בעצם היום הזה, כי יום כיפורים הוא לכפר עליכם לפני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Dorothy and Rick, go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olanu nota b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Beautiful job. Okay, and for the third and final aliyah, we'd like to call our Bar Mitzvah boy, Asher, to the Torah for the first time by his Hebrew name as a Bar Mitzvah. Ya'amod, 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 Habachur Bar HaMitzvah, Eliyahu Meir ben David v'Sara l'aliyah LaTorah. Go ahead, Asher.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavorach,
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen.
כי כל הנפש אשר לא תאונה עצם היום הזה, ונכרתה מעמך, וכל הנפש אשר תעשה כל מלאכה בעצם היום הזה, והעבדתי את הנפש ההיא מקרב המה, כל מלאכה לא תעשו חוקת עולם לדורותיכם, וכל מושבותיכם שבת שבתון הוא לכם, ועיניתם את נפשותיהם. בתשעה לחודש, בערב, מערב עד ערב, השבתו שבתכם. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, והיה עולם אתה בתוכנו. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Asher, well done. Well done. You did all of the Hebrew. You can take a big, deep breath, a sigh of relief. I think I speak for both the rabbi and myself when I say that we are very impressed with your grasp on the Hebrew. It's hard stuff. So next, we'd like to hear your English words of wisdom. Yes. So while you prepare to get ready to give us your speech, we're going to sing a song that sort of concludes our Torah service. Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. Let's hear what you are going to teach us today, Asher?
My Torah portion is about 2 holidays, Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. On Rosh Hashanah, we're supposed to celebrate the new year and set new goals for ourselves. It's very important to set new goals for yourself because who wants to be the person you were last year? You get to discover new things while setting these goals. You get out of your comfort zone, plus no one wants to have a boring life. Don't waste your life on being the same person you were last year or the year before. Also, you'll make new friends while discovering more things while on your journey. I actually discovered something about me that I didn't know I liked. I discovered that I like to explore and I like to fish. Yom Kippur is about practicing self-denial, such as fasting. It's also about working on yourself to become a better person. For example, if you were not nice to someone last year, you should apologize to them. Try to work on things that you thought were bad or not something you wouldn't really know about. For example, sometimes when I make jokes about my friends, it can be mean, and I don't want to be mean. I want to try not to be mean. I would like to work on going outside more and not spending so much time on my iPad, like spending more time with my friends or even going on a bike ride. These 2 holidays are very important to me because you should work on yourself so that you become the person you want to be. Don't be the person you were last year. Another teaching in my Torah is about how when you reap your land, always leave the edges for the less fortunate. And if you don't, you are breaking a law from God. This relates to Yom Kippur because on Yom Kippur, we're supposed to think about how can we become better people. One of the ways that we can do to help those who are less fortunate, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are all about thinking back on what you did wrong or something you want to work on, about setting new goals for yourself. I've been setting new goals for myself, like I want to work on getting better grades. I would also like to go outside more and also practicing basketball. I would like to get better. I would also like to practice more football too and going on bike rides because it's fitness and it's really important. I would like to hang out with my friends more because friends are really important to me. I would like to explore with my friends more because we used to go to this creek and we would go swimming and I thought it was very fun. We were spending more time together as a group. I used to go outside during PE class and go play basketball. I would like to work on that and going back to doing that because it made me better at basketball and at fitness. I have to thank my parents. I wouldn't have made it here without them. They always push me to do new things and find what I like and don't like. For example, I not like fishing because my dad would take me fishing. My mom helped me find out how I like to go exploring and go hiking because we would always go kayaking on the weekend. It was very fun. Calm, and relaxing. My parents are the most important people in my life right now because they help me with everything I do, and I'm very grateful for that. I want to thank my siblings for not being too annoying. I would like to thank my Hebrew tutor, Miss Vetter, and the clergy at Temple Bar Shalom for helping me become a Jewish adult. Shabbat Shalom.
Asher, Shabbat Shalom, right back at you, my friend. And as we say in Hebrew, Yesher Koach, which means job well done. Congratulations on everything that you've achieved today, on how you've led us beautifully in the first prayers of our service, how you read from the Torah, the words of this week's parsha. And I like that you looked into this portion, which actually speaks about something that happens much earlier in the year, the high holidays, and you pulled out a message that was really, present not only in the text, but present for you as well. A message about being reflective, about improving yourself, about striving to be a better person, to be the best person you can be. And I really like the line where you said, who really wants to be exactly the same as last year? And that is so true. I love the way you articulated that. And the only way that you can be different this year as opposed to last year, or next year as opposed to this year, is, as you said in your own words, if you take the time to be reflective and to consider how you might become a better person. And you pointed out the fact that in the Jewish tradition, the 2 high holy days, Rosh Hashanah and especially Yom Kippur, are days when we do that type of work. Now, I thought I might add a little bit to your words and just expand them a tiny bit and maybe even give you a little information to take with you as you continue to live by the words you just spoke, becoming a reflective person, always trying to improve yourself. Now, when I think about people in your grade, when I think about people becoming bar and bat mitzvah, I suspect that few of them are really like connected to or too into what we're doing here, which is what we call prayer. Now, if we were together in the sanctuary, you'd probably be nodding your head and say, yeah, okay, I'm not so into that. I appreciate that you led us today, but I don't have big expectations for many 13-year-olds about a connection to that. I want to tell you something about prayer that I hope will help you now and moving forward. In Hebrew, the word for prayer, or the word to pray, is lehit palel. Now, there's a little insight there. A lot of people don't feel connected to prayer because they feel like they're asking for God for something. They don't think that's a real idea. The words are distant from them, not connected. Some of them are in a foreign language, depending what religion you are. But the Hebrew word lehit palel gives you a tiny little hint about what prayer really is. The word lehit palel means to self-reflect. It actually means to self-judge. Now, if there is not a better way to strive to be a better person than in the context of lehit palel, I don't know what is. And I want to open your mind, Asher, and really everybody who's here, mind up to the possibility of a different lens on what it means to pray, a lens that is Asher's lens, the lens of self-reflection, the lens of being willing to look at yourself and ask, am I being the best person I can be? Am I living the life that's meaningful to me and to others? Today, you have given us this opening, Asher, on the idea of improving ourselves in self-reflection. And indeed, it is part of our yearly cycle in the high holidays that are part of your Torah portion. But what I'm here to say is that it is actually part of our everyday lives. Lehit palel is not opening a prayer book and like reading some ancient words in Hebrew or any other language. It's not actually asking for God for an A on your test. Lehit palel is the act of self-reflection. So you may not be connected to the things we do in the sanctuary that we call prayers, but you sound like a person who is connected to self-reflection. And turning that self-reflection at times into even a little bit of assessment or judgment helps you be the best person you can be. That was your message, Asher, and I'm grateful for it. And I was pleased to have the opportunity to add yet another layer. All of us here in the sanctuary, all of the clergy of Temple Road of Shalom, your family, we pray that you go forward from this day of Bar Mitzvah, becoming the best person you can be, making a difference in the world, right? Trying to be better. And I want to say, don't wait till Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to do that. Be self-reflective all the time. Use lehit palel to look at yourself and, adjust yourself, having looked at what you want to improve. And in that way, I hope and pray you will bring many blessings to your family, to our community, and our world. And the cantor and I want to join together in a blessing for you, Asher, a blessing that thanks you for being a blessing today and reminds you through this reflectiveness to continue to be a blessing in the world. And so at this time, I'd like to invite the whole family, Ellie and Noah and Zachary, to squish in with your mom and dad and with you, Asher, as we share a blessing with Asher in the presence of his immediate family. I know the grandparents are watching too. And so we're going to go over to our family there. Are you guys all together? Need you guys to be together? Where's everybody? Let's have the siblings stand behind or squish in or whatever it is, David and Kelly, you can get them to be. Where are they? Maybe behind you? Maybe they can stand right behind you. We can see them.
I think they're up against the wall. Here's one.
Okay, we're gonna begin, and I'm sure they're gonna join us in a moment. Asher. May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'ychuneka.
As you, Asher, have shone so beautifully upon us, may God shine upon you on all the journeys that are ahead.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
And may God grant you and your family all the most precious things in the world, including and perhaps most importantly, shalom, peace. Peace that lives in you, Asher, and between you and the people you love. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen. Taking your place in an enduring line. This is the day that you stood up to say, our tradition is mine. You have now read the Torah. It's been passed on to you. It's our law and our story, but each telling is new. It is said we stood at Sinai, and today you know you're there. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer. Taking your place in a resilient line. This is the day that you stood up to say, our tradition is mine. You have now held the Torah, forged a link to the past. You're the face of our future and the reason we last. La'alechet bidrachav v'lishmor mitzvotav kol hayamim. May you walk in God's ways, and may all of your days be blessings. It is said we stood at Sinai, and today you know you're there. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer. Thank you. We will now continue on page 586, 282, or 586 with Aleinu. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed aretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo begovhei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'aretz
And we come now to a moment of memory. We prepare to recite Kaddish Yatom, which can be found on page 294. To the members of our congregation who are worshiping with us, who are in a period of mourning, we extend our condolences, our love, our comfort, our hopes for strength as you navigate this difficult time. To the extended Herman family, there are people I'm sure you are thinking of on such a special day. We hope their memories continue to be a blessing. On page 294, we join those mourners who are with us in any form to say Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, those who wish to, whether they stand in body or in spirit, and join us in these ancient words. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye chon uvyome chon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'ruchu, leolam mimkol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'almiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace and love and strength and support to all who mourn, to everyone who is grieving, here and everywhere, and let us say, amen. And won't you please all be seated if you happen to be standing. And before we come to some final words with benediction and song, it's my pleasure to, I'm going to step to the side for 1 sec so I can bring some gifts here to the podium and show them to you, Asher. Please hold. Here we go. Thank you. All right. It's my pleasure to present you, Asher, and invite you to come and pick up at a later time a bag full of gifts. Yes, some lovely things by different groups in our congregation. In this bag, we have a home prayer book that we hope you'll use throughout your life at meaningful moments. It's a gift of the women of Temple Road of Shalom. There is also a travel mug, a gift of our youth group, as well as a certificate to a youth group event anytime after this day. Our clergy is also providing you with a gift. It's a Kiddush cup that we hope you'll use on Shabbat. And in this envelope, in addition to a beautiful certificate of Bar Mitzvah, there is a gift certificate to travel to Israel in your high school years. We hope you'll find a way to get to Israel and that our gift certificate will enable you to get there with greater ease. All these things are here for you, Asher, and we hope that indeed you'll not only use them, but remember us while you do. And now we come to the end of our service. A final song, Ein Kelohenu, on page 626, followed by a final blessing.
Ein Kelohenu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkeinu, ein Kemoshienu, mi Eloheinu, mi Kadonenu, mi Kemalkeinu, mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Inspired today by Asher's leadership and by his words, May we model the expectations that he created, ones of self-reflection, that we may look into ourselves and try to become the best people we can be so that we can make the world the best world it can be. Thank you again to you, Asher, and to everyone for sharing this wonderful service with us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.